Hello, 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 everyone. I realize we are live. I'm trying to see. There it is. Tag some friends. My brother. I want to tag my brother. So give me a minute. Tag. And uh, I need to tag Hattie. Hmm. Okay. We are about to jump in, I believe. Yonetta. Hi, Yonetta. Yonetta, thank you for watching. I want to do one more because I'm not sure if I actually tagged my brother.
Hello, everybody.
Um, hmm, hmm.
Hello, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. What an exciting time of the year.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now I want to get over here.
Hey, Andrew. How you doing, son?
Hi, Drewski. Welcome aboard, sir. Why
My oldest son there, Andrew, the namesake, right?
am I not seeing us live? I'm here where you shared it.
Hello, Makai and Zayden, my two grandsons,
They're watching too. Hi,
sitting there
Makai. Hi, Zayden. I'm
watching Papa.
watching Papa on TV, right?
Devin Watkins. Hey, young man, how are you? Congratulations on the new marriage.
Yes, Devin,
We got to
congratulations.
get a chance to meet that beautiful woman. I'm so proud of you, sir. So proud of
Absolutely.
you.
Hi, Margot. Thank you for watching, Margot.
God is doing some marvelous things in your life. I've been watching.
I've been watching. Got an eye on you, Devin. Absolutely. This should be over here in my live, right? Why is it not?
Okay.
Okay, guys, we're just going to get started. I may need to. I was going to. I don't see comments over here on yours. That's why I was going to try to run the comments from my phone.
Yeah, but that's all right.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Just
Yeah,
see what pops up.
we are going to jump right in. Jump right in. Hi, Joe McCrae. Thank you so much for watching.
Mr.
Thank
McCray,
you
how
so
are
much.
you?
You gonna do that now or later? Later.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys are coming into the room with us, we thank you again. We thank you again. Hit the share button. Hit the share button so we can get you can send it out to your friends and family as well. Hi, Alex. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, Arthur. Thank
Arthur,
you
how
so
are
much
you?
for joining again, sir. We're shouting out, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to the Collins family, my siblings, my nieces and nephews, our cousins. We say happy Thanksgiving to you. You know, I do appreciate the wonderful lineage, the wonderful heritage that I grew up in. Thank you. You know, saying happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We're going to open up a photo circle again tomorrow so we can keep in touch with each other. To my Wilson family, we'll all be here. Well, not all, but a large portion of us will be here in the area tomorrow. So we'll be at my niece's home for Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to a wonderful day filled with lots of love and
Wonderful
family.
days.
Wonderful days. Wonderful days. Our Thanksgiving, our meals are going to run from Thursday straight through Sunday. Straight through to Sunday. It's going to be great. Hi, Hugo. Thank you so much for watching.
Shout out to my big brother Nathan Wilson, who's
Yes.
in town for Thanksgiving.
Yay.
Can't wait to see you in Paula.
Yay,
It's
Nathan.
good to have you here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a treat. We don't get Nathan and Paula on this side very often. We're glad to have you guys here.
Yeah, this year I lost my older brother,
Yeah.
which is going to be a little difficult, but you know what? We get through it.
We will get through it. We will get through it. All right, so that was our shout out. Shout out. So we're working our way through the topic, trust and follow the process, using the acrostic that my husband gave me for process, which is the acrostic is process. Hi, Sarah Wallace. Thank you so much for watching, Sissy. Hello,
Hey, sis.
hello. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Sissy. The acrostic for process is purpose, resilience, obedience, courage. Hi, Louis Beasley. Endurance, stretching, and strengthened. And today, so we've taken that acrostic and we talked about each of the words, and today we're going to be talking about endurance. Endurance. We tie each of these words back to the original acrostic process and to our topic of trusting and following the process as we seek for and live in, our God-given purpose, right? Last week's discussion on courage was off the chain. It was phenomenal, and I'm excited about jumping into today's topic, which is endurance. So I'm going to start, Andy and I are going to volley back and forth today, right? So the Webster's definition, and I think he has some definitions too, and we may cross, but that's good. Webster's definition of endurance is the ability to withstand hardship or adversity, the act or an instance of enduring or suffering. Words that are synonymous to endurance are words like fortify, resolution, durability, strength, survival, patience, staying power, and stamina. Those words are synonymous. Timing, with endurance, we have to think about timing. When we think about what it takes to, keep going as we trust and follow the process God has us in, timing is everything. It's everything. We recognize that, we're moving along in the process. We've embraced, the overarching purpose that we believe God has created us for. We now understand our own level of resilience and bouncing back. We've been challenged in our obedience, Are we on point with that? And we've been built up in the area of courage. Now we are being encouraged to endure, to hold out till the end, to be patient, to hold on, to not get frustrated and aggravated because things aren't happening as quickly as we like. Hi, Minister Charlene. Thank you so much for joining. We are being encouraged in this endurance discussion to endure. We have to trust the sovereignty of God because we know He has the full picture of our entire life in sight. He has the totality of our life in His view. So He is, only He knows when, only He knows how, only He knows why. We're talking about endurance, okay? So with that, I'm going to toss it over to my husband.
Hello, everybody. Once again, how y'all doing? And happy Thanksgiving to you. Endurance. This is a holiday where we have to endure. Running into family and all the things you plan to do takes some strength. Because some of you and some of us have issues during this time of year because there are things that we've been through. Our resilience have been tested. We have been to the point where we've been breaking. And sometimes in our family, we've been to the point where we've almost been deformed. What I like about endurance, and I told y'all it was different than courage, right?
Right.
And endurance is different from resilience.
Exactly.
Resilience is the ability to come back after being deformed. Endurance only deals with the bad part.
Right.
The definition of endurance is really to be able to go through the unpleasant thing, to go through difficult processes and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So endurance is totally different. When we talk about endurance, I like to endure something. And I like to bring us to as many biblical references as we can. What I like about the book of Hebrews, in chapter 11, it talks about all these heroes. It talks about Abraham, Isaac, all these guys who went through some things, and they endured it for a good outcome because they were looking for a good outcome. So it says that they did what they did and they remained faithful to what they were doing And they pretty much, what they did was endured everything that they had to go through. And at the end of their lives, it was accounted unto them as faith.
Right, right.
It takes faith to have some endurance.
Exactly.
And that brings us right up to where that Hebrews is deep. We can go on forever about that. So I got to go through. That's why I just referenced chapter 11 to bring you to where I want to use today, scripture reference in Hebrews chapter 12. Because chapter 12 just picks up on 11.
Right.
And it says to us, it says, therefore, seeing that we also compassed about with such great cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and every sin which so easily do beset us. Let us run the race with patience. There are some things that we must do. And it's important that we understand process.
Exactly.
And understand process, we got to know that we must endure anything. To endure anything, we must have an expected end.
An expected outcome.
Listen, if you're not looking for anything,
exactly,
you're not going to do much stuff.
Right, you want to endure.
Now remember, I told you, I'm not talking about good stuff. It doesn't take any strength and any power to do good. Pretty much. And to when you're going through good times, that don't take a whole lot of energy for you. You're enjoying it.
Right.
The good endorphins are in your brain and everything's happening and you're flowing in good times.
Exactly.
But difficult times, it takes endurance.
It takes endurance.
You know what I'm saying? It takes show enough endurance. And with that endurance, you won't go through if you don't expect the end.
That's right.
The first thing we must do is that we must first know what we can do.
And it can be done.
And that it can be done. If you're going through anything, that's why it's important to associate yourself with people. People who are in relationship with you that can give you encouragement. And most of the time, people that are doing what you've been doing or what you are expecting to do.
Exactly.
Because they have endured some things that you haven't ran into yet. And it's important to have the proper relationship. My wife talked about toxic relationships and people holding you back.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And people can hold you back.
Right.
And people can mess with your resilience. Because resilience is something that you have to muster up. It's a strength that's within you that you have to do. But God said he would give you the strength to endure.
Right.
But what I like about it is when we talk about then the first point that I want to make is dealing with relationships, with family and with friends and your association. If you got the wrong ones headed the wrong way, then your endurance will be hindered.
Exactly.
You got to have good mentors.
Good mentors.
If you're going to do business and you're going to do good business, you're going to have to find somebody who's doing what you want to do. And follow them. So that means you cannot follow everybody.
Everybody, you can't do
and then you can't partner up with everybody.
Right.
You have to be careful of who you choose to partner up with. Because if you partner up with negative people, then your endurance will be hindered. Negative people will stop you and talk you out of enduring what you need to endure.
Exactly. You can't.
And you cannot do that. You cannot give up on your hope and your purpose by negative people. So our relationships and endurance is important.
Very important.
Because whoever we give authority to, if they're not speaking into our purpose and to our lives as far as relationship is concerned, then this is not a good thing.
Exactly. Exactly. I want to stop a second. Beverly, thank you so much for watching. She's watching. Teresa Reed is watching. Thank you so much for coming in. There was a comment I wanted to say. Thank you, Margot. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. Andrew says he's looking forward to seeing you, Uncle Nate. Louis Beasley, Sarah Wallace. I said hi to my sissy. Happy Thanksgiving, Minister Charlene. Hi, Ingrid. Thank you so much for watching. She said, hello, family. Thank you, family. Yeah. Larry Wyatt is watching. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. I'm going to pick up right there in a minute. 2 fingers. Andrew said, while his dad was talking, he said, Dad's been saying this to me for years. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, that's
and it has been true for years.
That's exactly right.
It's gonna keep being true.
Hello, everybody.
Yep.
I'm trying to get her to kind of move on.
Oh, he wants me to move on.
Because we got
I'm sorry.
we got a lot of stuff in there.
We do.
Hi,
We do.
everybody. We're going to stop and say hello, and even when this broadcast ends,
We will back.
respond to you. So
we'll go back. Be mindful of who you give authority to in your life. That's right, Joyce.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so another definition for endurance is to sustain. To sustain. Listen, keep showing up.
Right.
Keep doing what you're doing to stay in the lane marked out for you. You know, stay the course. Don't give up. Don't give up. At this juncture of the process, you know, we've gone through, you know, the whole process and the resilience and, you know, the obedience, the courage. We've been through all that. So at this juncture of the process, we should really be at such a place that the thrill of knowing our lane and being in it has given us a certain level of momentum and thrust, right? Because we know where we are. For instance, there's some Wednesdays where I come home from work and I am completely exhausted.
Right.
But it doesn't even cross my mind.
Like me today.
Like he's today. It doesn't even cross my mind that I will not be on live at 5:30. I know that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be on live at 5:30 doing midweek motivation. Why? Because I know I'm doing what I've been assigned to do for now. That's what I know it. You know, for however long the assignment lasts, however long, it doesn't matter. And I trust God that He'll let me know when this assignment is over and that He, you know, is moving me on to something else. But until then, I am completely enjoying this process. I mean, I'm enjoying it so much so that I don't even know if I could even place that in a part of endurance, because I really enjoy doing this. You know, even though sometimes I may be tired coming to the table, I love doing it.
And that's the thing. It sometimes, again, I say when we love stuff and when we're enjoying stuff, that's not endurance. Because endurance is going through the difficult time when you're tired and you do it anyway.
Yeah.
You know, that's a push through. That's endurance.
Push through.
A lot of people love stuff that they're doing and they've been on the right path towards their purpose. What has happened is that things have happened to stop them. And to mess up your flow.
And they failed in it.
And you failed in it because you failed to the negative versus leaning to the positive. The positive in finding your purpose in life is that when you find it, and when you're moving in what you do, you love it.
You love it.
So if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Therefore, you just push through. That does not mean you won't have adversity in doing it. If we give into the adversity, then we are not enduring. We must understand that in enduring, we must also know that we must follow through to the end.
Exactly.
And we ask ourselves, is it worth it? Is it worth it? If we can't answer that question, then we will give up.
We will give up.
When you go through difficult times, the only reason you go through is because you are looking for an expected end.
Right.
And then you have to ask yourself, is the end of this going to produce more for me than it will right now?
Exactly.
Because if it doesn't, I'm ready to give up.
Right.
A lot of people in life give up half the course or midway through the course because they don't ask themselves, well, what happens if I were just to bear this and keep on going through?
Keep going.
If I keep on going through, then I have an expected end. So I got to ask myself, is it worth it to give up now?
Is it worth it?
After all I done put into it, is it worth it to give up now? This is what Paul was saying in this 12th book of Romans, where he said, therefore, seeing that we have this great cloud of witnesses, the great cloud of witnesses is the relationships that we work on and that we know. We got to know what our purpose is. We're looking for people that our cloud of witness should be those who are moving towards our purpose.
Exactly.
And are like-minded in our purpose. Because guess what? Purpose gives you foundation to endure.
My goodness.
Let me say that again.
Yes.
Purpose gives you foundation to endure. If I know that I'm working in my particular purpose, when hard times come, I'm looking for an expected end, therefore I stand. Paul said, listen, after you've done everything to stand, stand anyway. That's not easy if you don't know what you're standing on.
Exactly.
But he says that because if you know what you're standing on, if you have a sure foundation as to what your purpose is, you will not just give up.
That's right.
Anybody can't talk you out of it.
That's right. You press through.
Guess what? When you find out who you are, it does not make a difference what anybody says. So therefore, your relationships are going to be limited anyway.
They're going to change.
You know what? Because if they're not moving in the same lane you're moving, then it's going to change anyway. What I like about it is that if you know your purpose and knowing what God has for you in purpose and have that foundation, purpose brings about an endurance. In the endurance, there's a couple of things you got to ask yourself. What is my goal at the end of this?
Exactly. What's my goal?
What is my dream?
Yeah.
What am I dreaming about? What am I holding on to this for? For what reason should I hold on to this? And then ask yourself this question, which a lot of us don't ask. What is my reasoning?
My reasoning.
Because my reasoning can pull me out of my purpose and keep me from enduring.
Exactly.
Paul uses this as a pretty much a reference. He's referencing a race in that passage. He said, listen, press towards the mark of the prize of the high calling, which are in Christ Jesus. Right. Pressing towards the mark. He was using a race then. But in Hebrews, he was saying, listen, run the race. Again, look at him using what we know.
What we know.
Run the race that is set before you. The good thing I like about it is the race. There are many races.
Many races. And
you know what I'm saying? There are many races, but when we find out what our purpose is, there is the race for us. It's the race for us.
Yeah.
If we 100-yard dash runner, a marathon will wear us out.
Absolutely.
Because we practice for the 100-yard dash.
Right.
At the end of the 100-yard dash, we're done. But a 5-mile marathon, you got to keep going.
You got to endure.
So it's a particular race, and you have your race. You know what thing God has called you to do, what you got to endure to get to your end.
Absolutely.
It might not be the same as mine.
Exactly. That's right. That's right. Hi, Caitlin. Thank you for watching. And Gloria Murray, thank you so much for watching. Cara and Christina Chamberlain.
Hey.
Thank y'all for watching. So another definition for endurance is sustain. Sustain. Listen. Keep showing up. That's where we were. I think I just finished that, didn't I? I just finished this thing. Let's go to stamina. That's where I am. And stamina is not a definition. Stamina is a synonym.
It's a synonym.
It's a synonym for endurance. Okay? So, stamina, your staying power. Staying power. One of Pastor Covington's colloquialisms is start out like you can hold out. Okay?
Right.
And that right there is one of the things that hinder a lot of people and cause them to abort the process. Sometimes we come out of the gate at 100.
Right.
We break out of the gate at 100, and we find that it's impossible to remain at 100.
Yeah.
You can't remain there. You can't. Your stamina is not going to allow you to stay there. Then we start dwindling and find ourselves at 75, and we start to get discouraged. And by the time we get to 50%, we're ready to quit altogether.
Right.
Altogether, just give up. Well, had we started out like we could hold out, we would have come out of the gate at a reasonable pace, allowing space to build and to grow and to gain momentum and acceleration, right? So we can endure to the end.
We can endure to the end.
Okay? A common misconception about endurance is that we sometimes think we'll have to remain at that certain pace forever. No. Listen, y'all. In every race, there are refreshment stations along the way.
Right.
You have an opportunity to stop and catch your breath and, drink some water or some Gatorade to replenish your electrolytes, have and that you've expended, to replenish what you have expended. So, for instance, having Andy in the mix these past 4 weeks has been my opportunity to stop at the filling station, because what he's been bringing has definitely been giving me life. It's been giving me life. I'm still engaged in my lane. I'm still doing midweek motivation. I'm still engaged in my lane, right? Okay, but he brings...
Y'all ain't got to put up with me much longer.
Not putting up at all. I love it. He brings such an energy and insight that I'm afforded an opportunity to breathe. This gives me that drink of water that I need in my race. This helps me to become replenished. And this came at such a pivotal time in midweek motivation, because I've now been doing midweek motivation for a whole year. A whole year. Okay, so at this juncture, bringing Andy in was very strategic and has been quite rewarding. And I think not only rewarding for me, but for you all as well. And I appreciate that, right? So,
listen, when we endure, it's important that we do not endure needlessly.
Needlessly, my God.
Let me say that again. When we endure, it's important that we don't do it needlessly.
Exactly.
A lot of us, what we endure, and again, let me stick the definition in again there, is for difficult times. Endurance is for difficult times when circumstances are not right. Again, you don't have to endure good things because they're good. They produce good endorphins, they produce health, and they produce life when your body is functioning at its maximum when things are going good.
Exactly.
But when things get difficult, it takes some endurance. Therefore, you got to be careful. And remember, I said reasoning. You got to be careful not to endure needlessly. Okay, sometimes we got to be running and doing the right thing. Again, I say, listen, it's important to be running the right race.
The right race.
If you have practiced for the 100-yard dash, don't go out there and try to run a 5-mile marathon. That's not, it is a race, but it is not the same race. It's not what you were called to do. You have practiced, you have studied, you have found that the 100-yard dash is your thing. Can't nobody beat you at that.
Right.
So that's what you do.
That's what you do.
But if you jump out there and try to run a 5-mile marathon that you have not prepared for, then guess what? You're needlessly suffering.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
And a lot of us in life, that's exactly what we do.
And setting ourselves up to fail.
And setting ourselves up to fail. Basically because we're not in the right race. Paul said it so plain in the first verse. He said, listen, run the race. Run with patience the race that was set before us, the one that's before me. See, my race and your race is not the same races. We are, although we're in a race, some of you are prepared for a 25-mile marathon. Some of you are prepared for a 5-mile and some for the 10-mile. And I might be only prepared for the 100-yard dash. But the 100-yard dash is my race.
Mine.
See what I'm saying?
The
marathon is your race. You can do that.
Exactly.
You can endure for that. But pace yourself. Again, if you jump, if I jump from a 100-yard dash to a 5-mile marathon, even in the same day, I have needlessly put myself to endure something that I am not prepared for.
Exactly.
Endure because you're headed towards your purpose.
Your purpose.
And guess what? Endurance won't be so difficult.
Exactly.
You can do what you need to do and head towards your purpose. Listen, in Galatians 1:1, Colossians 1:1 say, being strengthened with the power according to the glorious might, that you may have a great endurance and patience. God wants you to have endurance. God don't want you to quit in the middle. He will give you the power to endure what you're going through. And whatever it is that's come against you that stopped you before in the past. In the past, once you find your purpose, that thing won't stop you no more. You're able to endure more. You're able to endure much, much more. We all know what Philippians say. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ that strengthened me, which means I can endure anything if Christ strengthens me. If God give you the power, and so you say, what are you saying? What this has to do with purpose? The reason why this has to do with purpose in your process is because there's no need of you trying to endure what resilience was. Okay? There's no need for you to try to endure through obedience. There's no need for you to try to endure through courage because all those things as they go through just happen.
They have.
Endurance, again, like courage, is making a decision. In the middle of endurance, a lot of us make the wrong decision. We decide to give up. Okay?
Just before.
Instead of looking back saying, well, why am I so famished? Why don't I have the strength to do this? The reason why you don't have the strength to do that is because you put yourself through sometimes needless suffering. Needless things, the things that you should not be enduring because you haven't figured out what your purpose is. And once you find out what your purpose is, your process, each other thing will strengthen you to endure. Because if I know at the end, if I know if I stick through it, if I'm patient, if I'm strong, this is the same thing Paul always talked about, but mainly in this letter to the Romans when it got down to verse 12. After him laying the foundation and giving us a foundation, he went into what our duties were,
Right.
and when he got to verse 12, and our responsibilities was towards God.
Right.
Our responsibilities is to endure.
Endure.
We must endure. We must
the
stand
course.
up and endure.
Right.
Endure hardness like a good soldier,
soldier.
the scriptures say.
Exactly.
And what makes a good soldier? Training, good training, good association. When I'm hanging out with soldiers and we're talking about what we're going through and we're pushing each other through
That's
what we're
good.
going through,
That's good.
it's a hold on and be hard like a good good soldier.
Right.
The reason why he say that is because endurance builds hardness.
Hardness as a good soldier. That's right.
Listen, I'm not talking about negative hardness. I'm talking about when you endure something, you know that thing because you had to patiently wait through that thing and you patiently went through it. So therefore, once you get through it, can't nobody sway you.
That's right.
For the things you've been through, can't nobody tell you different.
That's right. You know it.
We might go through things differently and we might have different experiences, but once you've been through something,
You've been through it.
once you've been
know
through the
it.
difficult times, you know it. And can't nobody, they might have went through it differently than you did.
Right.
They might have did something different than you did.
Yeah.
But if you come out right, if you come out of that right without giving up in the middle of it, see,
Yeah.
don't come out in the middle talking about you've been through because you might be still going through. But if you endure hardness as a good soldier and push your way through,
Right.
you're going to know when you get to the end of
Endure.
it because the prize,
Exactly.
the prize for any race comes at the end,
the end.
not in the beginning. You can't stop mid-track and ask for your trophy. It doesn't work like that.
does not work
You
like
got
that.
to work to your end.
Yep.
And even if you don't get first place, the race is still going until that last winner comes in. So there's first place, there's second place, and there's third place. So you have all these chances to keep going.
Keep going. And listen, it is a blessing in just to finish the race.
That's it. Finish
No matter what place you place in.
whatever you're going through. Finish it.
Finish it.
That whatever you're going through, finish it.
Exactly.
Because that's what's going to build your character in things. The things that you go through, again, I'm not talking about the good times. I'm talking about the difficult things.
Right.
Listen, in your process, it's not going to all be easy.
Right.
But you're going to have to finish it.
Exactly.
When you find your purpose, you're not going to just walk up on your purpose and say, hey, purpose,
Purpose.
I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm here to
tried.
fulfill you. No, purpose walk up on you and say, hey, I'm here to fulfill you.
I'm getting ready to take you on a process.
But you got to go in the process. Once you find your purpose, you are just beginning on the
Beginning the
road to
journey.
process.
That's right.
In this statement that I made to my wife concerning purpose, when I sent her this acrostic, I gave her the reference of a road. Sometimes speed bumps are not there to stop you.
Yeah.
Speed bumps are there to slow you down.
Slow you down.
And to bring you at a safe pace because
Yeah.
it's protecting things around you.
Exactly.
They put speed bumps in on streets where children play.
Yeah.
They put speed bumps on streets where people are crossing and they're trying to control the speed of cars so you don't run out there and just run dead smack into something.
That's good.
Listen, if you don't endure, it's easy for you to run into somebody else and stop their purpose.
Exactly.
But when you connect with people and you make it your choice, get on that road and keep going.
Absolutely.
And guess what? Speed bumps do not catch you by surprise.
Don't catch you by surprise.
Guess what? There's a sign right on the side of it that says, hey, what? Guess what? Bump.
Speed bump.
Speed bump. And all you
this
got to
is
do is
good.
slow down,
Yeah.
take your time, and gradually move over the speed bump. You're still going to get to your destination.
Right.
But God has placed some speed bumps along the way.
To get you
Does
there
not
safely.
mean he derailed you. He want to get you there safely.
Yep.
They put the speed bump there because somebody might be entering at the next intersection. You might be running too fast and too far ahead of your mentor that's God
Exactly.
trying to send you.
Okay.
So he needs to slow you down a little bit. So there's a speed bump there. That's called endurance. We don't want to fly over the speed
I
bump.
love it. I love it.
Huh?
I love it.
We want to pay attention to the speed bumps. It's called endurance. We're still going to get to our goal.
Exactly.
We're still going to get to our purpose.
Exactly.
But we must endure some things.
Stay the course, endure.
And guess what? We can't run so fast in this race that we neglect the scenery.
Exactly. See what's going on around you.
Let me say that again.
That's good.
We cannot run so fast in this race that we neglect the scenery.
There's things going on around
Sometimes
us. Oh my God.
there are things going around us that we must see, that we must observe.
It's critical to our
and
journey.
we can't perceive that at 55 miles per hour. We can't perceive that at 60 miles an hour. Things in our life fly past us. We got to slow down a little bit. Every now and then there's a speed bump or a stoplight that say stop here. It's not meant to hinder you from getting to your destination. Guess what? But guess what? If you slow down a little bit, you'll start observing things around you.
Yeah.
And guess what? God has put positive things around
exactly.
you.
Things to
He put
encourage
positive
you
people around you so that you don't fly too fast. But you got to endure it. You can't look at it as a negative. We must endure.
Exactly. Oh my goodness, this has been great.
It has been great.
It's 6:04.
Yeah, and I got and I got a lot of cooking to do. I got a lot of cooking to do, but I'm so glad to spend this time with you guys. Until I get excited, y'all forgive me.
This is good stuff.
I just get a little excited as God revealed things to us on our path, to our destiny, to our destiny, and to our purpose. He revealed these things to us so that we don't get discouraged.
That's right. This is encouraging.
We cannot get discouraged. We got to keep on moving because we have an expected end.
Expected end.
God said, I know the plans that I have for you.
Absolutely.
They are to prosper you.
Prosper you. And give you a future.
And give you a future and a hope. But what I like about it, he said an expected end. God expects to see you at the end of your endurance.
Exactly.
Huh?
And enduring. And
He's
doing well.
looking for you at the end of your endurance. Because when you endure something, you're going to come out with a testimony.
Yep. To encourage somebody else.
That's right. Let me stop.
This has been wonderful. This has been really good. We don't have any questions out here. I've been scanning through. No questions. LaTanya, thank you. Bishop Brooks, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Don Setsa is watching. Thank you.
Brother-in-law.
Larry Jones, D. Steffens, Russell Jackson, Deborah Green, Donna. Thank you guys so much for watching. Listen, we're going to call it quits for tonight. Amen. Louis Beasley said, thank you, God. He has plans for all of us. Absolutely. Ingrid, we have an expected end. Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving, Sarah.
Endure.
Amen. So this has been really, really good. Ingrid says God is waiting for you at the end of your endurance because you're going to come out with a testimony.
That's exactly
That's right, Ingrid.
That's exactly
right.
At the end of every trial that you go through, God is standing at the end. Waiting to say, man, see, it wasn't so difficult after all.
You did it.
That's what I made you for.
Yes.
I gave you the strength to endure that.
Could do it.
But if you give up too soon, you won't see me at the end.
At the end.
Listen, God's glory is the light that shines at the end of our dark tunnels.
Exactly.
At the end of that thing we think going to kill us. Look up, there is a light.
There's a light.
It's at the end of the tunnel. Press towards it because that's God waiting for you. He don't come through to get you because he needs you to go through.
Exactly.
I wish I had some time because it even tells you that even the shadow of death.
Even the shadow.
He walks with me through the shadow of death. Listen, death is only a shadow.
Only a shadow.
God is waiting for you because he know it cannot conquer you.
Can't hurt you.
So whatever we endure, we look for the glory of God at the end of that endurance.
Exactly.
Hang in there. Don't give up on that thing. God got some glory coming at the end.
At the end. This has been wonderful. So as we close today, and we must close today. Thank you all for the hearts and the thumbs up. As we close,
hey, tell them to like and share it.
Like and share.
Oh, I didn't whisper that. Listen, like and share even after we get out of here.
Exactly.
If you would just like and share.
Yes. Yes.
And we hope this bless somebody.
Yes. Thank you so much. I applaud each of you, for trusting the process that you're on. I applaud you. Great job. Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up. You're doing a good job.
Stay the course. I believe in you. We believe in you.
If they're looking at us today,
you can do it. Exactly.
They've come through something.
They've come through.
Or they're in the middle of something. Just keep on going. Keep on going. Don't give up.
Your endurance is strong. Listen, and you're keeping a steady pace. You're keeping a steady pace. I just want to encourage you with that. You are further along than you think you are, and you're making great strides in your lane. thank you so much for spending this time with us. You know, thank you.
Thank you.
You know, prayerfully, you have received, you know, what you need to go just a little bit further tonight. A little bit further along your journey. Darko, thank you. Richard, thank you so much for coming. But we're closing now. I want you to go back and get the replay, though. So listen.
And share it with a friend.
And share it with a friend. Stick with it, guys, because we are truly making this our season to live out our reason. Continue being authentically you.
Authentically you.
We love you guys. Thank you all again. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We have so much to be thankful for.
Yes.
So much. Just sit down, you know, and you don't have to think long about things that you can thank God that He brought you through. He brought you to. He has blessed you. He has given you favor. He has healed you. There's so many things. So yes, happy Thanksgiving to you all. We love you, and we will chat with you again next week as we continue along our journey of process. Next week, we're going to be talking about stretching.
Wow.
Stretching is going to be next week. So stay tuned. We'll see you guys the next time. Hit finish, and we're done.
All right.
I got it. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.